can't believe it's been 3 years since we first came to San Francisco to look at using this as our national conference.
And Hong Kong 2 years ago. It seems like yesterday.
That was only yesterday,
And we've
wasn't
got
it?
these wonderful banners again. Aren't they great?
Yeah, except this time we went full body instead of just heads. It's a lot better, isn't it? What a great group of people we've got coming here, though. Not only Synchron staff, but also product providers as well. How many staff we got here?
Almost 30.
You're
Almost
kidding.
30. Yep, we have grown.
Well, who's running the office?
Oh, well. Skeleton staff?
Are we still paying daily?
Of course we are.
Ah, fantastic.
Never stop.
Well, the doors are locked.
And there's nobody out here.
We did say we wanted the doors locked at 8:45. That means there must be 300 people on the other side of that door.
It better be.
3 years in the planning, buddy. Here we go. Wow, look at that.
They're in here. Pretty good. Pretty good.
How many people?
303.
303
This is
people.
fabulous.
What a fantastic room. And the first table I come to is Synchron South Australia and Northern Territory Manager Chris Reginus. And Chris is here with his wife and 2 children, Robin and Matthew and Rebecca. When Chris took on the challenge of South Australia, there were five authorised reps in the island, in the state I should say. 6 months later, he's doubled that to 10 advisors with another 8 going through Synchron's due diligence. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Reginus.
Okay. Who do we have here but one of the most energetic and focused individuals you could ever hope to meet? It's Synchron's Victorian State Manager, Jason Milasevsky. Jason manages a team of 143 advisors with another 8 in stages of being processed. Jason Milasevsky, fabulous.
Synchron's Queensland State Manager, Guy Vass, has been to many Synchron conferences, but this is her first as a Synchron manager. She is a great relationship builder, and Guy has a team of 124 advisors with a further 4 under consideration, and Guy is here with her fiancée, the lovely Rose Carlin. Ladies and gentlemen, Guy Vass.
We come over here. Matthew Wallace is Synchron's new estate manager who took on the task of continuing the great work done by Paul Delgrand in New South Wales ACT. Matt has been to many Synchron conferences as a BDM and a Synchron advisor. This is his first Synchron conference as a Synchron manager, and he comes here with his beautiful wife Renee, children Chelsea and Harper, and there are 90 advisors in New South Wales ACT with a further 3 being processed. Matthew Wallace, welcome.
Synchron's longest-serving state manager is the manager for Tasmania, John Batchelor, a highly respected contributor to our industry in Tasmania. John both manages and provides compliance audits and assistance on the island for Synchron's 14 Tasmanian advisors. John Batchelor.
Here we go over to the West. Western Australia manager Bernie Fernandez has developed Synchron's presence in the West using a win-win strategy, building businesses-to-businesses relationships. In this time as manager, he has taken WA to 83 quality advisors, with another 9 being processed. A true and respected gentleman in the sense of the word, Bernie Fernandez. Good on you.
There are not a lot of lawyers out there with a personality, are there? We managed to find one, Synchron's compliance manager, Michael Jones.
And here's trouble. When an advisor comes to Synchron, it is Jonathan's job to make sure that the clients come with them. Synchron's Head of Advisor Services, Jonathan Trapnell.
Would you believe Michael Harrison's first Synchron conference was in 2002 in Hobart? And he has been to every national conference and next-gen conference since bar one. Officially, Michael is Synchron's independent chair, but he's much more than that. Michael involves himself in all aspects of Synchron's development and keeps John Prosser and I honest and straight on the straight and narrow during board meetings. Synchron's chairman and our friend, Michael Harrison.
Well, John's job may be to grow the business of Synchron, but just as importantly is John Prosser's job to protect the business. One of two principal shareholders, John is an executive director of Synchron with a primary responsibility for dealing with ASIC, compliance and the financial planning side of our operations. John has been with Synchron for 17 of its 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Prosser.
Thank you. How about that? Now, in addition to those Synchron staff members, there's another 24 Synchron staff members scattered throughout the room. If you happen to have a Synchron staff member at your table, make yourself known to that person. If you haven't met that person before, tell them a little bit about your business. Tell them a little bit about what you do. Let them tell you what they do for a living, because we're proud of them, and you should be proud of them too. You know, it takes a staggering amount of work to service, protect, and grow our company and yours. You probably wonder how we do it. The answer is we engage in cutting-edge technology over and above the fintech that's available to the industry at large. We have engaged a laboratory to create clones, a bit like Dolly the sheep, to ensure that the unique strengths of our key people can be fully leveraged in a scalable way. While John Prosser is here working and enjoying your conference, we actually have a clone of John back at the office keeping the wheels turning. This clone is working like a Trojan on compliance, liaising with our corporate regulators and protecting our licence. Would you like to meet the clone?
I think we should introduce the clone. He's sitting in Melbourne now, but I'm sure we can teleport him in.
Donald Josie, hi.
Well, I hope you're working hard back at the office, clone John.
Of course I am, Don. Oh, the amount of work we have to do to keep a national organisation like Synchron moving while most of the staff are overseas. It's amazing. For example, I've been chipping away at the PD days this morning, and this afternoon I'll be driving towards keeping the audits on track. Tomorrow, I'll be putting the APL review on track and washing out the vexatious complaints on the back in the afternoon.
Are you playing golf?
Oh, Josie, I'm on a course. But I can if I want to. After all, you've got a clone of me working there in San Francisco. I can see him.
Hang on, I'm not a clone. You're the clone, you clown.
I'm not the clone, you're the clone, misery guts.
They'd better not be my favourite golf clubs.
Your clubs, they're my clubs, you clone, you bloody clone.
Don, I told you this was a bad idea.
Don't worry, John. I can sort this out.
Please. Thank you.
Okay, that clone of John hasn't worked out like we hoped. But not to worry, we've made a couple of others. Well, that beats 20 hours of flying around airports.
Hey, we've come a long way. And Synchron's come a long way since we first started.
That's right. Synchronised Business Services was started in 1998 as a registered life insurance broker by the late Paul Rigoluth and only serviced a few of Paul's mates.
A year later, I joined as a partner, and straight away we started paying commissions daily using an Excel spreadsheet. Hey, we are still the only licensee in Australia that pays daily.
In 2001, when the Financial Services Reform Act came into play, Don and Paul needed an investment-focused partner. They were delighted that John Prosser agreed to join as the third partner.
John was able to bring in the necessary expertise for the company to broaden its scope to include investments and superannuation and apply for our AFS licence.
Joe, so you started working with Synchron in 2000 as a bookkeeper and then full-time in 2002 when we held our first national conference in sunny Hobart, Tasmania. At the time, we were servicing 40 advisors and had a turnover of $4 million. Come October 2003, we started trading as Synchron. Earlier, we had been trading as SBS until we received a cease and desist letter from a certain television station. Paul, Don, John, and longtime friend Dave Allen went to lunch at a local pub to try and figure out what they were going to call the company.
They were pulling their hair out with frustration when a fellow at the next table leaned over and apologised for eavesdropping. "Why don't you call it Synchron?" he said. The name felt so perfect, they immediately adopted it, and Synchron was born.
Our next national conference was in Darwin 2004, the same year we became an Australian Financial Services licensee.
Just 2 years after Hobart, we had grown to 93 authorised reps and had a turnover of around $11 million. In 2006, Synchron identified the problem of an ageing advisor base and began the Synchron Next Gen initiative to encourage and equip younger financial services professionals to succeed in the industry. It quickly became the premier event for people in the industry under the age of 40 and was the main contributor to lowering the average of a Synchron advisor from 58 to now 59, I should say, to now 48.
It's amazing, really. Because of NextGen, we now have approximately 1/3 of Synchron reps under the age of 40. In 2008, we had broken into the top 30 of licensees in the country by advisor numbers. By this time, we held national conferences in Hobart, Darwin, Gold Coast, and Alice Springs.
Then we had our first overseas conference in Queenstown, New Zealand in 2010. By then, we had expanded to 162 authorised representatives, and our collective turnover had hit $20 million. That's amazing. It's amazing, really. When you consider that today, only 8 years later, we have over 450 advisors calling Synchron home and turnover of $76 million. 2 years later, we enjoyed our national conference in Hawaii, which was attended by 173 people. And at this time, it'd be fair to say that Synchron was a risk-focused business, as we derived 80% of our revenue in favour of risk.
In the 12 months ending in September 2013, we had grown to the 7th largest licensee by risk new business according to the NMG survey, but the largest privately owned licensee in the country for risk new business. Everyone larger than us distributing personal insurance was either owned by a bank or an insurance company. The following year, we held our national conference in Los Angeles, which was attended by 213 people, where we spent the bulk of our time in the magical Disneyland.
2016, we headed to Hong Kong with 261 delegates. By the time we were in Hong Kong, we were servicing 426 authorised representatives and had turnover of $62 million. And now here we are in the city of brotherly love with you. And we have evolved to be the 8th largest AFS licensee in the country by advisor numbers and the 2nd largest distributor of risk new business in Australia.
That's awesome. Who says size doesn't matter? Hey, the reality is that the culture we have at Synchron is what counts, a real family feel, although size does matter.
Along with the growth and the lowering of our average age, the company focus has shifted more to being a holistic approach, where risk and investments have close to equal representation.
We have enjoyed 20 years of uninterrupted growth in both number of advisors who choose Synchron to be their home and the amount of business those advisors write. How do we do this?
It's simple, really. John and Don are still active practitioners. They have made a licence that they would want to be part of if they were 100% in the advice space. As a result, we have attracted like-minded individuals who see the value of being part of something that is run by people who are practitioners just like them. People we can see eye to eye with, people who enjoy the family feel and enjoy the Synchron culture. Look, that said, it's quite nice here without you. Okay. After all, we're in San Francisco, but as clones, we're actually running the company very nicely, thank you. We're not going to enter into this argy-bargy about who's a clone. We know that we're the clone. That makes us superior. Because we've been manufactured to be superior. Let's face it, we have been built to be faster, stronger, more advanced.
With better hair, less wrinkles, and better tasting shoes.
We're not going to enter into a debate with you over who is or isn't a clone. We've been manufactured to work harder, work longer, think quicker. We are the superior versions of you, and quite frankly, we don't need you.
Oh dear.
You've also been manufactured with a kill switch, which I happen to bring with me.
Oh dear.
Wait. Oh.
I guess the world just isn't ready for two Dons and Johns.
Ladies and gentlemen, we introduce you to your Master of Ceremonies for the duration of your conference. Returning by popular demand, I think it's his 5th conference, the very gifted and very professional Patrick Duffy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthems of America and Australia.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth fertile. Our home is good by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts, our beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, Synchron family, welcome to San Francisco, US of A. Welcome to America. Big round of applause for our lovely baton twirlers. We have the lovely Addison Jeffords and the Logan Trapnell. And they're all the way from Georgia, South Georgia. And Logan is a distant relation of Don. So it just shows that in the Trapnell family there is beauty, there is youth, there is talent, and there's Don. Which is a combination of all those three things. Whew. I was close and I almost lost it, but I think I pulled it back. But thank you very much, ladies. Wonderful, wonderful job. And our American anthem singer was Anna Christina. Anna Christina, and Anna, when she's not singing as beautifully that, she's singing in a Led Zeppelin covers band in San Francisco. And of course our very own Simone, from what a wonderful voice, again, from the Synchron family. For those who don't know Simone, she's onboarding and the Kaplan training officer for Synchron. So we're all in the family nice and tight.